The government Digital India initiative, the vibrancy of the information technology sector and the urgency highlighted by the pandemic make now an opportune time to establish and promote expansion to digital commerce by the digital enablement of a wide across section of businesses. The Open Network for Digital Commerce, like ONDC, has the potential to usher in a disruptive change in this regard. India and digitization of commerce. I will talk about what is India's scenario of digitization. The fast expanding digital economy has been one of the major supporting pillars for India in recent times. It has the world's highest fintech adoption rate of 87% as compared with the global average of 64%. The e-commerce market in India has doubled between 2017 and 2020. Three of the largest public digital platforms in the world are from India. Like Aadhaar is the largest unique digital identity platform. Unified Payments Interface like UPI is the largest digital payments ecosystem, and CoWIN is the largest vaccination platform. India has utilized a financial technology stack in which a unified multi-layered set of public sector digital platforms combine to provide substantial benefits to the population, from promoting financial inclusion and increase efficiency to enhancing financial stability. So how has it helped people? How is it help people? It helped in this way, like Aadhaar facilitated a surge in financial inclusion and digital payments, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. India's low-cost population scale digitalization has improved the ease of living for its citizens in all income categories. UPI has changed the dynamics of retail payment system and is now it's being used in countrywide. So these digital platforms are becoming an avenue for a new type of global diplomacy too. India's identity and payments platform are being looked at with interest across the world. Recently, the CoWIN platform was offered by India to interested countries in July 2021. The Finance Minister of India, along with her counterpart in Bhutan, jointly launched BHIM, in UPI in the country. So, Open Network for Digital Commerce. In short form, we can say ONDC, Open Network for Digital Commerce. So, what do we understand by ONDC? ONDC is a globally first of its kind initiatives that aims to democratize digital commerce, moving it from a platform central model where the buyer and seller must use the same platform or application to be digitally visible and do a business transaction to an open network. It is based on open source methodology using open specification and open network protocols and is independent of any specific platform. So this is ONDC. Now here a question like, what is the government of India's ONDC project? So the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade has issued orders appointing an advisory committee for its open network for digital commerce. So it's like a project to curb digital monopoly. This is in the direction of making e-commerce processes open source, thus creating a platform that can be utilized by all online retailers. Once ONDC gets implemented, all e-commerce companies and online businesses in India will have to use the same processes and standards. So this is the benefit of ONDC. According to reports, this could mean a complete revamp of system for e-commerce players. They could end up losing control over their user interface and, even more importantly, consumers' behavior insights. This could be a problematic for larger e-commerce companies which have their own processes and technology, technology deployed for these segments of operations. Okay, so in this regard, however, this would also give a huge booster shot to smaller online retailers and a new entrants also. So like, if I'm talking about ONDC, so what possibilities does ONDC offer? ONDC is expected to digitize the entire value chain, standardize operations like cataloging, inventory, like in inventory sector, like inventory management, order management, and order fulfillment also. It can be used in promote the inclusion of suppliers, drive efficiency in logistics, and enhance value for consumers. The platform envisages equal opportunity participation and is expected to make e-commerce more inclusive and accessible for consumers, as they can potentially discover any seller, product, or service by using any compatible application or any platform. So thus increasing their freedom of choice. It will enable a transaction of any denomination, thus making ONDC a truly open network for democratic commerce. ONDC would enable small businesses to use any ONDC compatible, like in any compatible application, instead of being governed by specific platform centric policies. It would also encourage ease adoption of digital means by those currently not on digital commerce networks. So like, what should be the key area of focus while creating an ONDC platform? So layers of open digital ecosystem. There are 3 layers of an open digital ecosystem, which provide a useful conceptual framework to think of both adoption and safeguards. These layers are like technology layer. It should be designed for minimize and decentralization. The ONDC platform should be built on privacy by design principles. It should collect minimal amount of data, especially personally, and store it in a decentralized manner so that there is no honeypot for hackers. Data exchange protocols should be designed to minimize friction, but based on clear rules that protect the consumer interest. Tools like blockchain could be used to build a technical safeguard that cannot be overridden without active consent. Governance layer, it's a need to understand. So it should allay business fears of excessive state intervention in e-commerce. Any deployment of standards or tech should be accompanied by law or regulation that lays out the scope of the project. Collection of any personal data is invoices, passing the data protection bill, and creating an independent regulator should be a precondition. To assure the industry of fairness, the government could hand over the stewardship of the standards or platform to an independent society or non-profit. So on the community layer, it should foster a truly inclusive and participatory process. This may be achieved by making civil society and the public active contributors by seeking wide feedback on draft of the proposal. Also ensuring quick and time-bound redressal of a grievance will help build trust in the system. Encouraging rather than compelling in order to drive the adoption of an open e-commerce platform or standards in a sector with entrenched incumbents, compelling the suppliers or consumer to use it inadvisable. A viable solution would be creating non-mandatory reference application and financial or non-financial incentives. Useful learning can be drawn from the adoption of UPI. The government supported the rollout of BHIM as a reference app and offered financial rewards through a lottery scheme to drive early adoption. It is timely that India is exploring innovative way to bridge the gaps in e-commerce market. But the boldness of this vision must be matched by the thoughtfulness of the approach. Okay, so this was the discussion of ourselves on e-commerce. Thanks for watching.